Cyclists usually try to chase watts on the bike, but I'm here to tell you that heavy lifting can actually give you more watts. It can also make you faster for longer. That's exactly what I'm going to show you in this part 2 video of our strength training series. Hi y'all and welcome back to the strength training series where we're going to go over hypertrophy, strength, power, and maintenance. So part 1 we talked about hypertrophy, which was a big emphasis on building volume and going to failure. However, research shows that lifting heavy weights can actually make your pedal stroke smoother, boost your sprint power, and help you go faster without using as much energy on the bike. Where we're going to get this heavy lifting is in the strength phase of our program. The strength phase is lower reps and heavy weight. This is where you teach those muscles that you created in the hypertrophy phase to produce more force and work more efficiently. This systematic review that was done with a meta-analysis in 2025 showed that lifting heavy weight actually improved cycling efficiency, sprint power, and time trial performance. What it didn't change was VO2 max or aerobic capacity, which is where you might hear different feedback whether or not strength training actually works. It's not really improving the engine size, but it is making your muscles use energy more effectively. So here's how that works. Heavy lifting stresses the nervous system to activate all of the muscle fibers in the muscle. Imagine if you're trying to pedal and your brain is only lighting up one switch at a time. Heavy lifting actually activates multiple switches so that there's more muscle fibers being activated when you're going through your pedal stroke. It also changes some aspects about the muscle fibers. Your fibers become more strong and resilient to fatigue, which will then help you hold power longer in a long and tough race. It also reduces wasted effort in that upstroke of your pedal stroke. So that analogy with multiple light switches being activated is important because when we're doing our pedal stroke, we're not really activating every light switch every time, but we're going to be activating a smaller percentage of the light switches that we can activate. Therefore, you're basically using a smaller percentage of your maximum strength each pedal stroke. At the same time you're doing this, you're also preserving those fast twitch muscles for later in the race when maybe you need to sprint to the finish line. Another cool thing is that heavy strength training can actually improve that short burst power, which is perfect for attacks, sprints, or getting over rocks and roads in a mountain bike race. Now let's define the difference between heavy lifting and more hypertrophy or endurance lifting. So heavy lifting can be either a simple or compound movement where you're going to have a higher load on your body. And what is a higher load? A heavy lift is usually between 3 to 6 reps with good form. Examples of heavy lift movements would be squat, deadlift, leg press. If you can do your load 12 plus times, unfortunately, that is not a heavy lift. That is more of a endurance style or hypertrophy kind of lift that you have going on. So an example of this would be something with a band or just your body weight, like if you are doing monster walks or bodyweight squats. If you have a lighter kettlebell and you're doing 6 plus to 12 reps of an exercise, that's more of a lighter lift. So when you're able to successfully hit these heavy lifts, you're going to have these nervous system stressors that are then going to adapt your muscle and allow you to have a more efficient pedal stroke and a higher peak power. Personally, for me, I give this to athletes and I perform this type of strength training myself because I'm typically doing a long mountain bike or road race where durability till the end of the race is super important because typically in the road event, there's some type of increase in pace, or for instance, if I'm doing a crit race, there's a sprint finish every now and then, so having that peak power output is super important. And just being able to perform comfortably on the mountain bike for 6 plus hours is more easy when I have a more efficient pedal stroke. Strength training is about making your muscles stronger and more efficient, which translates directly on the bike and allows you to become faster for longer. If you're ready to try it out, we have a 10-week FasCat strength training program, as well as a 30-week off-season plan where there's a strength phase. Following these plans will lay out a really good plan progression into next year. If you have any questions, comment below. We have a part 3 coming out with the next phase, which is power, which would be done after the strength phase. And just a reminder, like this video and subscribe so I can keep doing this. Okay, thanks y'all, and I'll see y'all next time.